Yeah, I'm back. Thank you very much, patient. Sometimes, it just take a little longer than I anticipate in doing certain things. But this channel dedicated to the family, and I don't know all the names. There's so many. I don't have my notes at this location. But the Williams is the Mohammeds, Twin Scale, Myrick, Nash, Trip, Crumb, Wade, McNeil, Pender, Spicer, Myers, Hellman, McCullough, Brown, and all those others that I have missed. And it's very hard to come to a family that's traditionally, and tradition is a word of trade, traditionally, yearly, harvestly, yearly, annually, things that's been going on in tradition of those who live in America. Some people call it captivity, but that's just one word used for a certain group of people with a certain frame thought, a certain mind thought. So as we get to explain everything that's going on, this is Christ's money ministry. And when you're talking about Christ's money ministry, you're talking about the words of God. You're not talking about the printed money. You're talking about Christ's money, you're talking about the seeds that's in the plants that people throw away. God's money, Allah's money, Yahweh's money. You see? Yeshua's money. Anything that you think is real, you have to pull back to learn what is real. And that's called a natural order. And in this natural order, what happens is you begin to understand why they say you only use 5% of your brain. And you accept that. If you was to read that you only use 5% of your brain and you accepted that, that means that you collapsed. You failed. You failed to ask for what part of the brain that I'm not using. And how can I activate that? That's what I mean. I am the SP, which means special. SPARK. Special arc. Call me the spark. I'm here to spark you up to let you see it's your time. You've been in the incubator. Some people who gave up and didn't know, they call it a dormant state. It wasn't a dormant, it was a growing state. It was a state of you learning, seeing, and going through many, many different things. So within that, we continue. We continue with those. You can't see those letters behind there, and I'm not going to teach you today. We have our own language. If you don't accept that, that's on you. That's how it goes. those who know, for those who don't know, for those who will, for those who won't. For those who do, you got tired, got worn out, it's okay today. Don't feel bad about it. Be glad about it. Be glad about the things that you can and are able to do. Be glad about the things that God has given you, the health that you have. We have seen a lot of things, but we still have to go through just a little bit more of a couple of things. Not a lot of things. A little bit more of a couple of things, and guess what? It's over. I'm on the other side. That's why you have not seen me. For how many years? Okay, how many days? How many weeks? Only those who know me by whatever name you know me by, that's the name you must start with to get back to where you need to be at. You see? Because I'm the SP to the ARK. And with that, that lets you know that God is good. Hallelujah. That God gives to his divine, you see, children, his children, those that he made. You see, when we say made, we say create, and we say it's a lot of words to the vocabulary of creation that you must know, because it is our time now. As you can see right there, it is our time. And our time, our clock, our time, which we are putting together, is already stamped mentally, but we are putting together. So you will have the instruments, you see? And we're going to do it in a different way. We ain't going to do it like they do it. Change the game. So that's what it's all about. It's all about changing the game. You see? So with Christ Money Ministry, we're here to make changes, to rearrange, and to let people see that God is in control at all times. You see? And with God in control, what happens is you will know who God is. The God is the guardians. Okay, let's not get it twisted and animalistic and what you say with the cartoons and stuff. No, when we talk about God, we talk about G-U-A-R-D. We talking about G-U-A-R-D. When we're talking about G-U-A-R-D, we're talking about basically protection, protecting, protection, shown protection, not shun. See, shown and shun, shown is S-H-O-W-N. And when you see the word shown, just to show you that nothing changed, we never slipped or slacked about any situation in this movement. It was long-term thinking. So we already finished. It's already a done deal. So you say, okay, well, we built this. Collectively, many of you have earned the rights to be here. Else you would be gone. Circumstances would lead you to go. If it would be unseen circumstances as microscopic, like the COVID-19, but now where you going to go all over the world? So, okay, the whole world, the whole nukta has been addressed. Okay, people say, well, okay, could it be a scheme? It don't matter. The matter is, now we got your attention. This is the time for me to mention that you're not living right. You are collectively billionaires. You are naturally kings. Okay, you're naturally kings. and you're billionaires. So now what are you going to do? You have to learn what to do. What's your name? Where you get your name from? Okay. If your name does not have any substantial weight, value, purpose towards the happiness of the collective all, you need to change your name. If your name does not establish a different, brighter, healthier, and intellectual state of mind, you need to change it. It's a science to names. My name is Americus. I've changed my name. Those who are not on my frequency have no reference to even think about why. They have no match in their life of why would I change my name legally, because my name represents Americas, not just United States, Americas, the continent, both sides of the equator, and Central America, and the islands that came off, and the rest of the world from Pandora, the spreading of the earth. So America is the continent I represent. What they call Africa, no, we call Americas. What you call Europa or Europe, it could be Europe. What you call great, right? And what we call Akbar, two different things. And that's only one notch above what y'all talking about. When you say king, we say empress. We say empire. We say king to king. You say brother to brother. Brother from the word brothel. Brother from the word brothel. Because people didn't want to find out and do the right thing. They didn't want to take responsibility for that which they reproduced. So there's maybe questions about what happened. We will go through all of that. There's no such thing as a deadbeat dad. When the system is run by 12 cabinets like a dozen of eggs. 12 cabinets. And in these cabinets, they design the system and control the system that we are supposed to be a part of, because we created this system. That's why it's very strange for you not to want to be in living politics. See? So they have to put things on religious, so politics will rule. It's called church and state. But truly, church and state, these are words that they created. There was no church and state. There was the word that should be guarded. So they say the word of God. And they say, well, who's God? Then they take the place of that person guarding the word, and then they say, well, you can't see God, because they're not going to let you know that it's a spot that they took away from you. So now they're above you, or they're more important than you, or they have a more say so, or what they call status. So what I'm stating, once you see the real picture, you don't have to go nowhere. You have to change your state of mind. People want to go to Africa. There is no Africa. It's called America, the whole world. That's it. And America has established itself, re-established itself with King Dayah Americas, King Americas. And the king is only a servant to the people. So why would people not want a king that will help them is reestablish themselves, maintain themselves, keep them alert, keep them protected? This is where we at now. So I invite those in my family, the ones that I called out, the ones that don't call out. I invite you to learn this. You don't have to reach me. Reach into the depths of we and you. Make the you in me and the you in you connect as a cipher, complete, nukta. People say, oh, people don't want to hear long talks because people don't want to learn nothing. People are broken down right now. You got to step back up. When the sun get up, you should be up. When the sun rise, you rise. You should be risen when the sun rise. Now, that goes into a lot of things. If I say you should be risen when the sun rise, that means that either you was up already or you was up in between and you glimpsed part of the new day, which they call night, we call Knox. Right now, people are 12 hours late. When you go to sleep at night and wake up, boom, everything's already prepared for you to walk through this daylight and have no effect on it. This is a 24/7, all the rest of your life type of lifestyle. This is a lifestyle where you're a servant. You're the servant. You're the slave of the people. And you say, what people? It goes to your DNA, your family. The word family, they wanted it to be, they rooted it from the word famine. The word famine means nothing. You have nothing. So I changed it up and say familiar. When you look at the word familiar, they still say famine, and then they got liar in it too. You see, but just say familiar, let's say family, but the word is tribe. But right now you're not in tribe. Because to be in tribe, if you look at tribe, you have to be TRIBE. TRI represents tri or three. You have to be in tune with this, that, and these. Who, Hela, this, that, and these. Which they consider to be different dimensions, or this, that, and these could be what they call the past, the now, and the future. So as we learn, you're 12 hours late, you have nocturnal vision, you can see in the dark, and we must flip ourselves around to the nighttime and establish ourselves 24 hours 365 days at all times. We on point, focus. And all those who have taken an oath, it's time to renew that oath. And it will work with what we call the righteous cipher. And the righteous cipher looks like this. This is the righteous cipher right there. That circle right there. That circle right there. That's the righteous cipher right there. That circle right there. Egyptians, Muslims, Christians. It's all the same thing. Y'all just talking the same thing. People under the influence and the power of who or what they saying, and basically that's how it goes. That's how it goes. So I just want to hit y'all up, let y'all know we doing. You know what I mean? It ain't got to that degree yet, but it's there. I gotta name the mascots that we got up there. You know, I think we're gonna have the three different from race to sub races, humans, different types of humans on the planet. And then from there, we can go through those who shift and shape, and then those who are intergalactic visitors on the planet. I think it's time for our family to truly realize that we are not alone. And this is why who put us together gave us instructions on what to do and how to get it done. And we have been snatched by others who have cooperated and formed uh, a legal way, a legal entity called a corporation. From their cooperation, they cooperate. From their cooperate, they cooperate with each other. They put it in a paper, an agreement, and they utilize that by the law that was established, which is the business law or UCC codes. Yet we have to know about that, especially if we want to maintain and monitor what's going on the planet Earth. It's a lot about the planet Earth that is not our business, actually. There's there's things about the sea that right now we have to work towards to get back in tune. Just as we have gills where we can breathe underwater, but nobody's speaking about that. It's things that we do that you're not familiar. You don't know you're being tricked to control the weather, so they can control the weather. You're being tricked by your emotions. So other they call them tribes, call it race, and they now they want to call them aliens. Everybody's trust me. When you see a person in human form that's made out of dust, water, and using these chemicals, breathing, oxygen, that has a part to do with this zone, which is called Earth today, Gi, Aktara, Timat, Tamat, many other names. So right now, your mind is thinking about so many things, but your brain is not functioning. And once you start the journey, you can regain who you are back. And this is something that I had to experience myself, going through the same things you're going through. And at the same time, with those who misunderstood, and that's the neutral way we could say, they actually try to stop. Yeah. So there's rules of engagement. There's rules of how you approach people. There's rules of how you travel. A person should never travel alone. A woman definitely is not allowed to travel alone. A woman is allowed by our laws to travel in threes minimum. Threes minimum. To emergency. And we'll go along, and you should know the story by now. Or ask somebody, and they'll tell you the story. Why? We'll read the book. These are the things that you say, well, we're in the richest country in the world, one of the richest. We got more money than other people in other countries, us being melanated, and we still can't figure out how we can not be parasites and monitor that which is needed and that which is not needed revised. It's called refinement in our lives. We cannot change the system until we change ourselves. And this is what other people are trying to take, different groups have been saying, but we have to change ourselves collectively, individually, but most importantly, right now, through one program and one land gauge. And that land gauge is called the Wabbit. I don't care what, I don't care what. Give me 1 year and I will show you. 1 year and I will show you. This is not going to last for too much longer. You know, people are stressed out. The pandemic was a not a plan, I would say, because I don't know, but I can tell you when we established humanity and put the Canaanites, and I say that nicely, in Europe, the tribe of Canaanites, which spread to many, many sub-tribes. So it was originally the 11 tribes of the Canaanites, or the 12 tribes of Canaan, whatever. And from there, so we put them in a climate that was conducive. It was something like we put them across the desert, so they'd be in a climate that would be conducive to their body, because they was under a curse, which they had rapid deterioration. Right, rapid deterioration, and it led to what they call the main name was leproma, Actually, they call it lipoma. It was Lynette. Lynette was actually the fact of it being milky white, or they say milky white, but we say clear, lucid. This is the reason they say I love Lucy. The propaganda of the super race started, and the spearhead was the blonde hair, blue eyes. The blonde hair, blue eyes was the genes that was affected by the curse, and they didn't have the gift of what we call melanation. This gift of melanation is a coating that protects against the sun rays and the growth, and it regulates uh, the growth through chlorophyll, the digestive system inside the body, but outside the body. Before the body, when you start breathing and breathing and taking in dust particles and taking in nutrients, and oxygen and water, you take water from your breathing. There's a lot of things that we can do, but we're doing it in a way where we are deformed. So leprosy, Leviticus 13 chapter told us, listen, when y'all get out of this going back and forth with your foolishness, this is what I want y'all to do. I want y'all to, I want y'all to, when y'all get out of your foolishness, here's a book, Leviticus, read it. How many of you have read the book of Leviticus? Now, yes, I'm speaking to y'all. Leviticus was the book of law, of health, protection, and the rituals that people used to do to experience certain things to keep in check about sacrifice, life and death, and things of that nature. Are people still doing rituals today? Yes, they are. So